Coming up in this week's episode of Coaster News, the opening date of a brand new ride at Alton Towers has officially been revealed, and a crucial point of the renovation of a ride at Pleasure Beach Resort has officially been reached. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Coaster News, and as always got some amazing news from different theme parks, rides, attractions and events all over the world. So let's get straight into the news today. Our top story for tonight: Alton Towers have confirmed the opening date for Toxicator, and we've all been waiting for this news for quite a while now, and it was pretty much an obvious guess when this news would break and when the opening date for Toxicator would be. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, basically Alton Towers have confirmed today that their brand new for 2025 flat rides Toxicator will open to the public on the 15th of March 2025. Toxicator is a suspended topspin from German manufacturer Hoss Rides. It is one of only two suspended topspins in Europe, with the other one being Talakan at Phantasialand in Germany. Toxicator is the world's first topspin to be elevated above ground level. It is built on a 16-foot tall concrete platform, which brings the ride's maximum height up to 78 feet. Along with the opening date announcement, Alton Towers released drone footage of Toxicator testing with its full ride cycle. So as we can see during its ride cycle, it does look like it does quite flip you up and upside down quite a lot, which is what I like to see. Now, how this will compare to the original topspin that operates at Alton Towers, Ripsaw, we don't know yet. Now, this is not the first topspin to actually operate at Alton Towers, because as hardcore fans of the park will know, from 1997 until 2015, Ripsaw operated pretty much adjacent to where Toxicator is being built now, and that was the classic version of the Hoss topspin. Now, the main difference being, rather than having the two rows back to back to each other, both two rows on Ripsaw were facing one direction, and it had a slightly different the newer suspended topspins have a slightly different cycle that of the classic topspins. Now, a lot of people have actually kind of criticised Alton Towers for leaning a bit too far into the nostalgia by literally building Toxicator as a Hoss topspin, which is exactly what they had 10 years ago. Now, personally, I do think Toxicator will be a good ride. Hopefully, in the future, when they build more flat rides, they'll build more original flat rides. But I'm glad to see that a brand new topspin is being built in the UK, because the last one to operate in this country was Ramesses Revenge at Chessington, which closed in 2019. There haven't been any permanent topspins since. So I'm glad to see that there's a brand new permanent topspin actually being built in this country. And I'm sure the ride experience will be great. Theming wise, they do seem to be hiding quite a lot of the theming in like these videos that they're showing. So let's just hope it's really well themed, and let's hope that it manages to fit well within the Forbidden Valley and the Nemesis storyline. In other news today, the pressure cylinder has been installed in launch pad at Pleasure Beach Resort, and this is actually crucial to the ride's whole renovation and bringing it back up to operating standards. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, basically, Launchpad is an S&S drop tower that first opened originally in 1997 and cost £2 million to build. The ride has had several names throughout its operating life, originally known as PlayStation The Ride, and most recently known as Ice Blast. Launchpad stands 180 feet tall and reaches a top speed of 80 miles per hour. Now, when it was known as Ice Blast, it was closed throughout the entire 2024 season due to what was believed to be a fault with the ride, which Pleasure Beach were awaiting a new part for. During this time, various signage pieces and queue line railings were removed from the ride area. In December 2024, Pleasure Beach confirms that Ice Blast would reopen in 2025 with a new name and theme, with it now being known as Launchpad. Along with a new colour scheme and theming, Launchpad has received a new pressure cylinder, which will propel riders with more force than before. Pleasure Beach completed installation on the cylinder earlier this week, The cylinder is made of pieces weighing a grand total of 9 tons, and large cranes were used to lift the pieces into place through the top of the ride tower. So now that the cylinder is completed, it means all the scaffolding which has been surrounding the entire actual structure of the ride can now come down, which is great because that scaffolding has been up there for pretty much about a year, but it's been building up over a course of months, and it's been covering the entire structure for a good couple of months now, pretty much since the end of last season. So it's good to see that it's now been installed. Now all we've got to do is just take that scaffolding off, and then they can possibly put the ride vehicle back onto the tower and hopefully start testing it soon. Now, when this ride will open, I don't think it's going to be ready for an opening day opening, because opening day is literally next Saturday, and they've only just installed the pressure cylinder. So I suspect it'll probably be about maybe April, May at the very earliest when they could get this thing open. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm sure more details about the ride's opening are due to come soon. Also in the news today, the plans for Project Play at Chessington World of Adventures have been approved. And it's great to see that Chessington they're getting loads of investment at the moment from Merlin, and adding all these new additions, renovating old areas to the park, into giving them new life, and it sounds great what they're doing. But the plans I'm talking about specifically, they've got a few different plans in the pipeline, but the ones I'm on about specifically are Project Play. Now, Project Play, it's a brand new themed area speculated to open at Chessington World of Adventures for the 2026 season. Plans for Project Play involve the transformation of the Mexicana area into a brand new themed land designed specifically for young children. This includes the removal of Scorpion Express, the Children's Zoo, the VIP Hub and the Mexicana restaurant, which will be replaced by the 4 rides of the new land. Scorpion Express will be replaced by a brand new junior coaster, and Jungle Bus is set to be relocated from the Wild Asia area, which is set to receive its own transformation, over to the site adjacent to the new coaster. As well as this, 2 brand new flat rides are planned to be built, along with a large new retail building, a meet and greet point and a brand new toilet block. Now, with plans recently being approved for this brand new themed land, it means that construction will pretty much well have started by the time Chessington reopens for the season next month. Now, Chessington, I believe they're opening in sort of late March this year. That's when their season starts. So I suspect that that's about a month away. So I suspect by that point, Mexicana area will be pretty much boarded up, mostly with construction walls. But that's led to a lot of people thinking, is Rattlesnake going? Because it says that the Scorpion Express is being removed, which we've suspected for a while after the fire that the ride suffered in 2022. It's been closed for nearly 3 years now. So it's good. At least we now know what's happening to Scorpion Express. It's being removed and replaced by a brand new junior coaster. But everyone's saying what's going to happen to Rattlesnake. Now, it does not describe any sort of demolition plans for Rattlesnake or any relocation or refurbishment plans. Rattlesnake is staying as it is, or it's staying in its current location anyway. But could that mean that Rattlesnake will get rethemed? Because that whole area is going to be rethemed to a completely different theme. We don't know what yet. And then it wouldn't really make sense to keep Rattlesnake with its sort of like Wild West theme when it's right next to this area that's themed around something else. Yeah, but do you think Rattlesnake could get rethemed? It probably will at this point. So does that mean that pretty much the most of the Mexican area is going to be closed off? Or will Rattlesnake operate this year? I don't know, we'll have to find out and see, but now that these plans have been approved, it's pretty much on track for Project Play and the attractions within it to open for the 2026 season. And finally in the news today, Portaventura have started adding brand new Titan track to their wooden coaster Stampida. And this was actually quite unexpected, we did not see this coming. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm going to give like a brief overview of this attraction. Basically, Stampida is a dueling wooden coaster which opened in 1997 at Portaventura in Salou in Spain. It was manufactured by the now defunct American manufacturer Custom Coasters International. Stampida stands 84 feet tall and travels at 46 miles per hour on both tracks, which are both dueling and racing with each other. The attraction has been criticised for inflicting a rough ride experience on its riders. Recently, Portaventura began the process of installing brand new sections of Titan track from American manufacturer Great Coasters International. Now, Great Coasters International have been manufacturing wooden roller coasters since the 1980s, with their first wooden coaster being the now defunct Wildcat at Hershey Park. But over these last few years, they've been developing a new type of track for wooden coasters called Titan track. Now, Titan track is a new type of steel tracks developed by GCI, designed specifically to be installed on older wooden roller coasters in order to improve the durability and smoothness of the ride. Now, a section of Titan track is being installed on the turn just after the first drop on Stampida. So it's good to hear that, it's good to see that they're trying to improve the ride experience by adding this new steel track to the section of the ride, which should hopefully improve the smoothness of it, because I've never been to Portaventura, so I've never been on Stampida, but I've heard it's quite a rough ride experience, very uncomfortable to basically it's not a very enjoyable ride. So it's good that they're taking steps to make it a more enjoyable experience. So they're adding Titan track to one section of track, but could this mean that they plan to install more Titan track along other sections of Stampida in years to come? We don't know, it might be a little bit like what happens with the big one at Pleasure Beach Resort for a number of years up until last season, when they were getting rid of the older sections of track. I know big one's a steel coaster, but they were getting rid of a few older sections of track at a time and replacing with brand new bits of track to make it smoother. And they were doing that with a few sections of track at a time for each close season. So could Portaventura do the same with Stampida, but replace a section of original wooden coaster track with brand new Titan track from GCI? Now, we don't know. This has only just been found out like literally yesterday at the time of filming. But could this lead to more Titan track being installed in Stampida? Let me know what you think in the comments below. So that is it for this week's episode of Coaster News. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, then please make sure to like and subscribe, and comment if you would like to see the next video. Goodbye.